said you disagree with the president. With the foregoing, with all Ejima Kene and Dayo said, are you still convinced that the president has not, is not the architect of what they have?
Yes, that's what I'm saying. I'm not saying, I'm not talking about his message. I'm talking about the messenger. We were all here in 2019. Few days to election, we had what they call trader money, market money. What was those many monies? What were they meant for? If not systematic vote buying. Inducement. Baba has done his own bit. Thank God. But the fact remains that he can never take credit where he doesn't belong. So the rest of the matter is that as the president, I said it the other time, that he signed the Electoral Act into law is a commendation. But the fact remains that telling us that he is happy that what? Was it his effort to ensure that we have free and fair election? If it is his effort, in what way? In what way? This is the government that the court will give order that should do something, and we have to call on Malami to interpret what the court, even the Supreme Court for that matter. Once again, I can never celebrate a tyrannic leader.
Okay, let
what he said about the electoral issue is very correct. Just as that was said at that time, Oludiboloba, and that is the best for our democratic experimentation. But for Buhari to take that credit, I can never agree. That's my position. I'm not saying what he said is wrong. No, what he said is correct. But being happy, well, it's relative. You may be happy that this thing is happening, but giving him the credit, I can never support him on that.
Yes, Dayo, you have something to say?
I have something to say. Let's just agree that he provided the platform. That is very important. And that's the electoral 2022. Like I said, he could do otherwise. That plan we are talking that he provided may not be signed. And like I said, he can influence the Senate and House of Rep. Because this party has majority. So that the man provided the platform for reduction of vote buying, reduction in inducement, making the voters the great people,
frustrating the voters to vote against the ruling party.
Let's give you the credit.
Frustrating the voters to vote against the ruling party.
Okay. Let's go to the last topic.
That's an interpretation. That is what
he's entitled to his opinion, and he has expressed it.
Just as Baba is also entitled to his opinion. That's why I said it's his own opinion. He cannot impose it on Nigerians.
Yes. Let's go to the last topic of the day. That is naira scarcity. NLC declares nationwide strike. You see, this naira scarcity has affected many businesses, many homes, many individuals, to the extent that if one has 1,000 naira in his possession, one want to guide and guard really expended. As I speak to you, Nigerians are really
anti-Nigerian.
Nigerians are spending the money not the way they see it, because of the fact that it is difficult for Nigerians to take money out of their own bank account. The POS will take exorbitant, cutthroat charges. You get to the POS and the ATM, it is dry. At the counter, nobody is ready to attend to you. The door to the banks are locked, and people will remain outside from morning to night. All because they want to take money belonging to them. In the sun, in the rain, people will go to the bank as early as possible, 4, 5, 2, 3 a.m. and the bank will resume at 8, only for them to return home the same way they have come. NSC now coming out when the matter is being resolved. Is it not political?
I don't know if you are coming to me, but it's not political. And if you look at Comrade Ajaero is very from Waba. You can say it's a bit belated. But don't forget that Comrade Ajaero just came in. and that he has succeeded. He's trying to rally around all the units of the NLC. What we do, the latest is that the CBN has directed all banks in Nigeria to open on Saturday and Sundays, and they are already pumping money into various banks. Although the people are still, banks are still being filled up with people. That is, the people who want to withdraw money is still very, very serious in terms of people who are eager. But then, like I said, the directive of the CBN might work. The reason being that banks will now open on Saturday and Sunday on further notice. The strike may not work, but let's commend the NSC. Perhaps that threat is what is trying to do some magic, which I between on Monday, maybe things would have been compared to what we have been in the past.
The strike or the notice for the strike is coming in. Nigeria says it's coming in too late. Do you agree with this? It's coming rather too late.
Actually, considering the hardship that Nigerians have faced and are still facing, one would say that the notice is coming very late. And notwithstanding, perhaps the labor union are trying to play safe not to be accused of sabotaging the electoral system in the country. Perhaps because of the election, they decided to let the election go before they act. But notwithstanding, the facing is enormous. Many lives have been lost as a result of this cash crunch. Many people could not afford to pay their medical bills, to eat, and the likes. Many even slumped to death while keen at the ATM machine, and so many other challenges like that. So it is uncalled for and untold hardship brought about on Nigerians, and the labor, they have the right to protest. It is only that they have to do it orderly, and they have done the right thing.
Are they not coming in so late? Are they not in Nigeria?
That's exactly what I'm saying. Considering the hardship facing the countries is coming late, they ought to have acted earlier, because it is lives. It is about lives of the people. The election. That's why I said perhaps they were waiting to act at the end of the election. But the lives of the people is very important. So they ought to have acted. But notwithstanding, it is still okay that they are acting at the end of the week, of the day, by giving 7-day ultimatum. But action should follow now. It's not just say that we have done this. Yesterday, the CBN had meetings with the labor unions, and they were assured that they have directed all commercial banks to be going to various branches of CBN to load old notes and or whatever back to banks to make them available, perhaps in order to forestall the proposed strike. But they must make sure that they ensure that things are in order before they agree not to call off the strike. It's very important.
Latif, should NLC go on with the strike, even with the order that banks should open on Fridays, Saturdays and Sundays?
Well, let me start with CBN. I don't trust them really. One thing is to open on Saturday and Sundays. Another thing is to have that cash in those banks. You will recall that this same man had told us, even when this thing had just started, that the CBN had pumped money across all commercial banks. But unfortunately, they will even tell us that they had saw a bank in Ado-Ekiti or elsewhere whereby they ordered the money, and you won't hear anything again. You won't see that money outside. You won't see somebody being arrested or proceed to beat Ajairo's led NLC in order to sit their sword. After might have done that, they will still continue, to deal with it. Many people have suffered. Many businesses have folded up. In fact, many people have gone bankrupt. But all the same, for those who are alive, for us not to die, for us not to go bankrupt, the NLC should go ahead with that warning strike. Maybe that will give a signal to the federal government and CBN.
Dayo, do you trust the CBN?
Well,
Going by what they have done.
Well, let me align a bit with Lateef Agbola. Don't forget, the man even told us sometimes that all the old notes have been burnt.
Exactly. And
so where are they now that they are pumping them out? So let me align with that the man is high level of dishonesty, not even dishonesty, high level of dishonesty. Now he's directing the CBN in all the state chapters to list the old note. Do you know that he said they have been burnt? But having told banks that to open on Saturday and Sunday, what are they going to do on Saturday and Sunday when they open? If the money is not there, maybe the money is there. Let's just have benefit of doubt.
Before we go on,
what we are saying that in hearing is that the old monies have been burnt. That's one aspect. So where is he going to get the money? And remember that even told by the time the president directed following the Supreme order, he said that they are going to release more new notes into circulation at the end of March or whatever. Maybe it will take a month. The period has gone. Nigeria is still waiting to have these new notes in their hands. So he has not been living up to expectations, considering what the promise he has made. So anything can still happen, but what is expected of him is to redeem his image, to do the things right. That is very, very important, because Nigerians have suffered, and he should. 2 days ago, he said he apologized. He apologized.
Yes.
So we want to see the action.
Not only apology, he said 1 trillion naira has been pumped into the
and
it's very difficult to believe the man. I also agree.
Yes.
If you 3 days ago you told us you apologize and you said 1 trillion naira has been pumped, because where is the 1 trillion naira?
And my fear is also this. You know that the president also said something that there was no freedom for vote buying during the election as a result of the cash crunch. So when I read it, I linked that cash crunch to politics, and at the same time to think that it means it is designed for a purpose. So that factor is there. It seems as if somebody is also behind the CBN governor.
Well,
don't forget the same CBN governor attempted to contest for APC primary, president primary. So all those things.
In fact, at that point,
that Nigerian leaders should just make sure that
President Buhari to
show the world
right,
to ameliorate the sufferings of the Nigerians.
The fact that this matter, all we are discussing now, are predetermined.
Honestly.
Well, we may not be able to go beyond here on this edition of In the Newsroom because our time is fast spent. I want to especially thank my colleagues who have come on the program. Oladayo, thank you.
Thank you, Tony, for being in the newsroom. I'm always in the newsroom.
Adebare Ejimakide, thank you very much.
It is my pleasure to be here.
And Abdul Lateef Agbola, thank you very much.
It's my pleasure, Tunde, but let me add, if Nigeria should obey the law of the country, we should also have leaders that are respecters of our laws. Let the president, the CBN governor, obey the law whenever they are directed by the Supreme Court of the land.
Nobody is bigger than the law.
That's just it.
Yes, this is the convenient spot to draw curtains on today's edition of In the Newsroom. Babatunde Bolatito is my name on behalf of the producer of the program, Oladayo Olanipekun, Abiodun Olalere, and Akinola Olabi. All of them put together, they have been the brains behind the success of this program. I want to say, please stay tuned to Osbc, and we hope to meet you next Friday. Good afternoon.